what websites or materials do you use to learn English? Do you watch our lessons on YouTube? Do you use Instagram? Do you use other websites online so that you can get your daily dose, which is your daily fix, or you're learning English every day? What do you use now? Oh, we have someone saying they use TED Talks. TED Talks. Yeah, that's great. TED Talks are great. Okay. I use YouTube. Yeah, YouTube is a great resource. There's lots of things out there. Yeah, I've got lots and lots of different people. Artpit saying YouTube, 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 YouTube. Yeah, that's great. So, as I said, I have 7 tips that you can use. Now, these are receptive skills, okay? So receptive means listening and reading. If you want to learn how to practice your speaking at home, I made a great lesson a month or so ago where where I gave you 8 tips on how you can practice your English. So it's linked in the description below, and you can check out that lesson after this one. Okay, so the first thing that you can do at home to make English a part of your day is to listen to the news when you first wake up. And I find this one really great because on my phone, I set my alarm and then automatically I play the news. And I play the news first in English, so I kind of know what's going on. And then I choose a news program in Spanish because I'm learning Spanish. And that way I already understand what the news is about because I've already listened to it in English. And then I have the context and I'm able to listen to it in Spanish. Is there anyone who already does that? Does somebody already listen to the news in the morning? When they first wake up, the alarm goes off, the news, and then you listen to the news. I find it's a really great way to start my day. I feel fresh and I feel great. Yes, I've got Isma saying indeed. Indeed means when you agree with someone. Lucy saying me. We have Nirla, I'm sorry about the pronunciation, but I see you all the time you're in our fluency circle, so I see you commenting all the time. We have Nefisa saying, yes, I'm addicted to the news. Okay. So if you don't like listening to the news like Aicha, then the next thing that I can recommend that you do is to listen to a podcast or listen to music when you eat breakfast. Now, for me, I like to make a coffee. I like to have cereal or granola and yogurt for breakfast. And breakfast for me is normally about 20 or 30 minutes. And that's a lot of time that you can either listen to a podcast, the RealLife English podcast, or you can listen to your favorite songs who are singing. My favorite musician at the moment is Justin Bieber, and he's just released a new album. So that's what I like to listen to. Yeah. Kunal, that's a very nice comment. There's no need to watch anything else. I watch all of your lessons. Make sure you listen to the podcast too, because we have some great tips on there. We have Casey says, I like Westlife's song for studying English. Yeah, songs are really nice. There's a lot of connected speech in songs, and they can really help you improve your listening and your connected speech. In fact, there's Los Angeles Azules is a Mexican band, and I use them a lot to practice my Spanish connected speech. Yes. Hazmat says, I adore listening to the podcast. That's fantastic. That's really good. Okay, let's go on to the next one. So, yeah, you can listen to the news or podcast in the morning when you're making your breakfast. Now, if you commute to work, and commute means you leave your house and you either drive or take I was going to say plane. Maybe you do. You either drive or you take a train or a bus to work. And this is called commute. So during this period is a perfect opportunity to continue that podcast or continue that song. So the Real Life English podcast is about 40 minutes. So maybe you can listen to 20 minutes during breakfast, and then on your 20-minute journey to work, you can listen to the next 20 minutes. So you're actually listening to the whole podcast in the morning, and your life is just being fulfilled. Are there any other podcasts that you recommend that you like listening to? I like listening to travel podcasts personally because I'm obsessed with traveling. I really like traveling. Hazmath says, I listen to audiobooks as well. Audiobooks are great, but it's more of a commitment. So if you prefer something that's a little bit shorter, podcasts are great. But again, I also like I also like audiobooks. Obviously, a lot of people won't commute because of COVID. So maybe you have a few extra minutes in your day to listen to a podcast. Maybe you commuted for half an hour or an hour, so you've got a few extra minutes, which is also great. Okay, awesome. Yeah, I like listening to any BBC podcast. I do too, actually. There's some really good stuff on the BBC. Yeah. I see lots of people saying BBC, BBC, BBC. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. I can see 125 people here. And I apologize for the earlier audio problem, but I've solved it with this beautiful big microphone now. Okay, so now, as I said, you're at work all day or you're studying all day, and you might not have many opportunities to practice your English. And unfortunately, that's difficult. I have a question. Does anybody work in an international organization where you have to speak English at school? At school. Well, school if you're in a university. Do you have to speak English at work? Does anyone have to speak English at work, or do they go to a university where you learn in English? We've just got Maduri Uma. She says, how do I improve English communication? I mentioned at the start of this lesson that I made a lesson with 8 tips on how you can improve your speaking. And the link to that lesson is in the description. So make sure you listen to that watch that after this lesson. So yeah, we've got a few people saying yes, they do, yes, and a few people saying no. This is right. This is quite interesting. With my German colleagues, and that's quite interesting from Daisy. I think you're from France. I saw you type in France, and that's quite interesting because often if you don't speak the same language, English is the language that you speak with people from different countries. So that's really interesting. Okay, nice. I see. My classes are given in English. That's fantastic. All right. So, now, if you're interested in taking your English beyond the classroom, we actually have a 41-week power learning, 41-week native immersion course where you can go on a real life adventure of the English language in a way that is fun, natural, and convenient. And the best part about our courses is you can try them before you buy them with a 3-part power learning series. And I've linked the 3-part power learning series in the description below. So make sure you check this series out. And it's a great way to practice and continue your English. All right, let's continue on. So another thing that I think you could do is when you arrive home for work, I want you to think about what activities do you do? What activities do you do when you get home from work? For me, I cook, I exercise, and I either watch, well, I don't have a TV in my house. I either watch Netflix or I watch YouTube. What activities do you do when you arrive home from work or from university? I'm waiting for some answers in the comments below because I think this is going to be interesting to see what people actually do. I see Kunal, he says, I speak with my Indian colleagues. That's fantastic. All right. So I've got someone that says, I listen to music. Do you listen to music in English or are you listening to... This is quite a funny one. I take a bath. Okay, good. I read a book. I make dinner and watch movies. Okay, good. All right. At the moment, I'm just at home. Okay, so we've got some common activities that I do as well. I take a bath, take a shower, listen to music, read a book. Do you do this in English or do you do this in your native language? That's the question, right? Who reads a book at home in English? Oh, I like that. I lose myself in music. It means it's just you and yourself and the music and you feel great. I love that. I journal, exercise, read. Yeah, okay. So a lot of people are doing the same activities. So for me, I love cooking. Well, I like cooking. I wouldn't say I'm a very good cook, but when I need to cook, I always follow a recipe. And a recipe that I like to follow or a website is BBC Good Foods, and they have lots of different recipes. So if you use a recipe, excuse me, if you use a recipe, because I know there's a lot of people from all around the world, if you use a recipe, why not follow an English recipe? That way you'll be able to uh, read in English and learn cooking vocabulary, but you'll also be able to cook some food that you might not have seen before, because BBC Good Foods, yeah, they have international dishes, but a lot of it are British dishes as well. So if you can try and cook in English and speak to yourself in English while you're cooking, oh yes, I'm going to chop the carrots. I'm going to boil the eggs. That way you're going to practice some cooking vocabulary at home. Yeah, we have lots of people saying podcasts and line of duty. Okay, so we know that. I love to exercise with YouTube. So my favorite YouTuber is Joe Wicks, the body coach. I'll put him in the comments now, Joe Wicks. He's a body coach, and he has like 20 or 30-minute HIIT exercise activities. And if you like working out, again, it's like cooking. It's a great way to expand your vocabulary and to be listening while you're fatigued. So it makes you listen more. It makes you try and focus more on what is being said. So working out to your favorite English trainer is good. Does anyone have a favorite English trainer? Does anybody know Joe Wicks? That's an interesting question. Yeah. So that's a good one. So working out to yourself is a good way to practice your listening skills. I see people saying, I have a conversation with myself in the morning. Yeah, it's a great way to practice your speaking. And as I said, I did make a lesson on this, which is linked in the bio. A lot of people don't know Joe Wicks. You should check him out. Yeah, I wrote a comment, and he's a really useful guy. I enjoy his workouts. And obviously, I say this one a lot, but watching YouTube videos in English, lessons, you watch our lessons, which is fantastic. I see a lot of our regulars here. So watching our lessons is a great way to practice and gain skills in learning English. And if you want to train your ear more, find a topic that you're interested in. I always say that I love travel. So I've recently found 2 Brazilian YouTubers, and I love their channels. They take you around Rio, they take you around Brazil, and they have really easy accents to understand. So if you can find a YouTuber that you like, maybe it's a cooking channel, maybe it's a traveling channel, maybe it could be any type of channel, and just watch one of their videos every day, and that's going to help you for sure. Alrighty. Yes, and someone says watching movies with subtitles, and that's my last tip. Obviously, over on our Learn English with TV series channel, we help you to understand your favorite movies and celebrities. So again, this is a great way. Obviously, it requires more time rather than watching a short YouTube clip. But if you can watch, if you can watch these in English, or if you can watch these with subtitles, that's definitely going to help you as well. So there you have it. That is the 7. They are the 7 tips that I have for you on how you can practice your receptive skills, so your listening and your reading skills. Yesterday on Instagram, Andrea made a great live on how you can create habits into your English learning. So make sure you check that out over at RealLife.English to check out her live that she did yesterday on Instagram. And yeah, so let's see if I've got any questions. Alrighty. So I have a question. I see how to improve your writing skills. Her English writing score was 7. I think you should practice by, if it's for an IELTS exam, doing lots of tests and getting a teacher to give you feedback on those tests. Maybe taking a little short course with a teacher to learn the structure. And once you have the structure and the ideas, then you can do lots and lots of practice tests. Again, you can also journal for yourself. That's more informal writing. But if it's for a test, doing lots and lots of practice tests is going to help you there. Okay. Yeah, so they're the 7 tips that I have. And if you have any more questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you found this lesson useful. I'm really sorry about the audio, but we solved it with this. So in case you're new here, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and the bell down below. And thank you so much for everybody who has been here. And I want to say thank you, and I will see you next Friday. Yeah.